Good afternoon to one and all present here. A warm welcome to everyone joining us online for the fourth day of our faculty development program on advancing teaching excellence through artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. We are happy to continue our learning journey with another insightful session. Before we begin today's session by seeking the blessings of the Almighty, I now invite Ms. A.R. Aarti, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application, to lead us in prayer.
Almighty God, we thank you for bringing us together through this online platform for this meaningful FDP. Bless us with wisdom and understanding as we explore the latest developments in AI and cybersecurity. Bless our resource person and guide her, and she shares her valuable knowledge and experience with us. Help us to learn with an open mind and make meaningful use of the knowledge we gain. May today's session enlighten us and strengthen our understanding of digital security. May this program be fruitful and beneficial to all the participants. Amen.
சர்ச் பண்ணுடா ஏடிஎம் இருக்கான்னு பாருடா
Thank you, ma'am. A cheerful welcome creates a wonderful beginning for our gathering. Now I invite Mrs. D. Kalayarasi, Assistant Professor, Department of Data Science, to deliver the welcome address.
A very warm and welcome to our respected Reverend Father Dr. G.E. Arulraj, Administrative Assistant Dr. N. Arul C.V., the Principal Dr. R. Rupan, and our estimate head of the department. It is my privilege to welcome all the faculty members of our college and various other institutions to this 5-day National FDP. We are special delighting to extend a warm and grace welcome to our chief guest, Mrs. B. Preeti, for joining us to this special occasions. We are honored by your presence and look forward to gain valuable knowledge and insight of this FPP. I sincerely welcome all the participant faculty members from our institutions and other colleges and thank you for your participations. Once again, I extend my heartfelt welcome to everyone and wish this 5-day National FDP and fruitful, enriching and successful experience. Once again, thank you to all.
தேங்க்யூ சார்
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm and gracious welcome. We shall now take a moment to know more about our esteemed resource person. I now invite Mrs. S. Srimati, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application, to introduce our resource person.
Good afternoon to everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our esteemed resource person for today's session, Mrs. B. Preeti, MSc MPhil Net, who is currently serving as the Head and Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science with Artificial Intelligence at Lakshmi Bangaru Arts and Science College, Melmarvattur, Chengalpattu. Mrs. Preeti is a dedicated and student-centered academician with more than 6 years of experience in higher education. Her areas of teaching specialization include programming languages, software engineering, database management systems, operating systems, web technology, and artificial intelligence. Her research interest includes artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and deep learning. She has extensive teaching experience in various areas of computer science and artificial intelligence. She has handled subjects such as Java programming, software engineering, data mining and warehousing, web technology using PHP, artificial intelligence, and NLP. She has also taught C, C++, Java, data structure, DBMS, microprocessor at the UG level. Academically, she is pursuing her PhD in Information Technology at Savita University and has qualified UGC NET in Computer Science and Applications. She holds an MPhil in Computer Science, MSc in Information Technology, and BSc in Software Engineering, all from University of Madras. She is proficient in several programming languages too. Her academic achievements are noteworthy. She has secured 4th rank in BSc Software Engineering and 14th rank in MSc Information Technology at University of Madras. With her rich teaching experience, technical expertise, academic leadership, and research interest in AI, cloud computing, and deep learning, we are indeed privileged to have her with us today. On behalf of the management, principal, faculty members, and participants, I extend a warm welcome to Mrs. D. Preeti. Ma'am, we are delighted to have you with us and look forward to your interesting session. Once again, a warm welcome to you, ma'am. With this, I invite you, ma'am, to take over the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, for your warm welcome address. First of all, I want good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'm very happy to welcome you all for this faculty development program. Today, I'm going to discuss a very important and interesting topic: AI-driven cyber security. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about AI-driven cybersecurity, an intelligent approach to threat detection, prevention, and response. We all know that AI is growing very quickly. At the same time, cybersecurity threats are also increasing. So today we are going to understand how we are use AI to improve cyber security. So in this session, we are going to see the three major areas: threat detection, prevention, and response. Along with the theory, wherever possible, I will also connect these concepts with practical example and demonstration. Before discussing AI and cybersecurity, first we need to understand why cybersecurity is important. Today, almost everything is becoming a digital. Sorry. Today, almost everything is becoming a digital. For example, we use mobile banking, online shopping, online education, cloud application, social media. So this is what we call rapid digital transformation. The second is increasing online services. Every day, new online services are introduced. For example, we can book tickets, pay EB bills, transfer money, even we can attend the online classes too. The third point is cloud and IoT adoption. Many of the organizations are storing the data in cloud platform. At the same time, IoT devices such as smart camera, smart watches, smart home devices also increasing. Fourth point, growing data generation. For every click or login transaction, online activity generate data. So now the important question is, what happens if this data falls into the wrong hand. So nowadays attackers are using new techniques to bypass traditional security system now. So organization need to detect threat much faster. Now let us understand the basic meaning of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity means protecting our digital resources from attacks and unauthorized access. What are the things we need to protect means we need to protect our computers, networks, application, devices, data, digital identities. For example, our username, password. So if someone get my username and password from without my permission means the cyber security problem will arise. Similarly, if someone changes our data without our permission, this is also cyber security problem. If an attacker delete our file means this is also comes under the cyber security problem. So cyber security protect our digital resources from unauthorized access, misuse, disruption, modification, and destruction. There are three fundamental principles in cybersecurity, which is called CIA. That is confidentiality, integrity, availability. Confidentiality means information should be seen only by the authorized people. For example, suppose I have a salary document means only the authorized people should be able to see the document. If unauthorized person get access to it means the confidentiality surely will last it. The second one is integrity. Integrity means the information should remain correct and should not be changed without my permission. Imagine if a student get a mark 80 means, if someone change the mark 80 to 50 without my authorization means, the integrity of data will affect it. And third one is availability. Availability means the system or information should be available whenever an authorized person needs it. For example, imagine an online banking system. If a customer wants to access a banking system means, if the banking application should be available on the time, correct? So we have to remember these three words, that is confidentiality, integrity, availability. Now let us look at some of the common cyber threats. The first one is phishing. Phishing is one of the most common attack. Here, the attackers try to trick the user into clicking a link or giving sensitive information. The second one is malware. Malware means malicious software. This software designed to perform harmful activities. Third one is ransomware. In ransomware attack, the attackers may encrypt the victim file and demand for the payment. Fourth one is password attack. Without the user knowledge, they may be try to obtain the password. Next one is the social engineering. Because in social engineering, the attackers not target the human activity, they target directly to the human. Next, DDoS attack. The main purpose of DDoS attack is to make a service unavailable. Data breach. Data breach means where sensitive information may be exposed. Finally, web application attack. Web application attack means where attackers target weaknesses in website or web applications. So these are the many different types of cyber threats. Now we understand cyber security. So next we move on to the AI. We all know that AI is nothing but artificial intelligence which enable either a computer or any machine to perform a task normally require human intelligence, correct? For example, a human can learn from past experience mean the AI system also should learn from the past data. If human can recognize pattern means AI system also identify pattern in large amount of data. So AI can be used to learning, reasoning, prediction, classification, decision making, pattern recognition. For example, imagine we give a thousands of email to an AI system. Some emails may be phishing email or some are maybe legitimate email. The AI system can learn the pattern from these examples. Later, when a new emails come, the system can predict whether it looks like a phishing or legitimate. So AI become very useful when you have a large amount of data and these type of complex pattern analysis. Now we combine AI with security. AI can support the cybersecurity team in different stages. Okay, the first stage is detect. So AI can detect suspicious activity. Then it can analyze the activity. After analyzing the data, it can predict possible risk. Based on the risk, we can take a step to prevent, and finally we can respond to the security. So AI can be applied in many cyber security areas. For example, threat detection, anomaly detection, malware detection, phishing detection, intrusion detection, user behavior analysis. So AI provides additional intelligent layer to the cybersecurity professional to work faster and more efficiently. So now let us see how AI actually detect the threat. The first stage is data pre-processing. A cybersecurity system receives large amount of data. For example, login information, network traffic, email, URL. So this data may contain unnecessary or inconsistent information. So first we have to prepare the data through pre-processing. Next stage is feature extraction. So feature extraction, here we identify the important characteristics from the data. For example, in email, we look at the sender name, URL, the keywords, or some special characteristics too. Then the information give to AI/ML model. So this model analyze the data. The system may identify whether the threat having or not. Okay, so then we get a threat detection. The system may identify whether the activity is normal or suspicious. After that, we perform risk assessment. So in risk assessment, we ask how dangerous is this activity. If the risk is high, it generates a security alert. If the risk is low, so it is a normal one. Finally, there is a human response. This is very important. AI can generate the alert, but security professional only can review the situation and also decide what action should be taken. So this is complete flow. Data, feature, AI model, detection, risk alert assessment, alert, human response. Now, let us understand the different types of AI-based threat detection. The first one is classification. Classification means dividing something into categories. For example, if an email means it may be classified as phishing or legitimate. The second one is anomaly detection. Anomaly means something unusual or different from normal behavior. For example, a normal user login in 3 times a day means suddenly we see 500 login attempts too. Correct? This is very normal, different from the normal behavior. So AI can identify this as an anomaly. Third one is prediction. Prediction means we can use the previous data to estimate possible future risks. For example, based on the previous security problems or patterns, AI can predict the particular system as a high risk or low risk. Fourth one is behavior analysis. Here, AI studies user or system normally behave or not. If the behavior suddenly changes, it can generate a alert. So, classification, anomaly detection, prediction, behavior analysis are the important approach of cyber security. Now we come to very important topic, phishing detection. I'm sure many of us having received a message like your bank account will be locked, you want a cash prize, click here. So these messages may look genuine, but sometimes they are phishing attacks too. The main purpose of phishing is to trick the user into giving us some sensitive information. The attackers may try to steal password, login credentials. They may also target banking and card information. They ask OTP or personal detail. They may try to steal our email account or social media account. So there are different phishing methods also available. Email phishing. Email phishing uses fake email. Smishing uses fraudulent SMS or messages. Wishing uses fraudulent phone calls. Attackers may also create fake websites too. These websites may look exactly like a genuine banking or payment websites, but it may be the fake website too. Another important dangerous type is spear phishing. So spear phishing means here the attack target a specific person, not an activity, not in their account. So they target a specific person. So AI can help by analyzing the email, URL and other pattern and identify whether they look suspicious or not. So now we go for the hands-on. I just show you the demo how AI can use to detect phishing. So this is a simple example. Here I demonstrate phishing detection using simple Python code. So first we need a Python library called skitlearn. So this is a machine learning algorithm. This algorithm provides a text classification function. Next we have to import two more components. First one is count vectorizer and second one is multinomial NP. The count vectorizer, which is used to convert our text into number, because computer cannot directly understand like a human. That's why we use count vectorizer. So it only understand the number. So that's why we have to convert our text into number format. This multinomial NP is a machine learning algorithm. So NP is nothing but Names-Bain theorem. This algorithm used to text classification, whether our message phishing or normal message. So this algorithm only identify whether our message phishing message or normal message. Next we need to some sample data to train AI. So these are all called training data. So here I give 10 example. The first 5 are phishing example. The next 5 are normal example. So congratulations, you won a free prize, click the link. So these are all phishing example. So meeting is scheduled at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So these are all the normal messages. So I categorize here. The first 5 are phishing messages and the second 5 are normal messages. So next we have to create a label. So the label is only convert the text to number. So the first 5 are the normal message. Here I give 1 for phishing message. The first 5 are phishing message. So here I assign 1 for phishing. So first the 5 message or phishing message. And the next 5 are the normal message. So here I give 0 for the normal message. So the first 5 are phishing and the next 5 are the normal message. So next, count vectorizer. Already I told this vectorizer used to convert our text into number. So again put this message to the counter vectorizer. So here this method is used to fix the phishing and normal message. So based on some keywords, for example, free, price, click, urgent. So these words are considered as phishing word. Meeting, assignment, class. So these are all considered as normal messages. So now we create a model using multinomial NB. So here we give two things. So X provide the numerical representation of message and label which is used for phishing or normal message. So finally we have to give a new message for testing. Look at this message completely new, that is not an R trained data, correct? So urgent, you want a cash price, click here to claim. So this message I'm not trying to the AI directly. So check it now. So this message is not in a training data. So this is completely a new message. But the AI model, so this multinomial model, this AI model make prediction based on the keyword, the urgent, click, claim. So these are the keyword for phishing. So based on the keyword, it predict the function using predict text X. Finally, it gives prediction. If prediction is when, it prints phishing spam detected. If prediction is 0 means it print normal messages. I just run my coding. So here I directly give the text message. So here it gives phishing spam detector output. So this is only a simple demo. It is not production level because we give only 10 message to the AI. But in real phishing detection system, we need 1,000 or millions of example to do better detections. So the complete process is first we have to train the message, add the label to the message, count vectorizer, NB model to classify the new message, whether it is phishing or normal message. This NB model only classify whether the given text message is phishing or normal. So now we move on to next one, AI-based malware detection. So we know that malware is nothing but it is a malicious software which affect our regular system activity. The main purpose of malware may be to steal information, damage our system, encrypt our files, or unauthorized access to our file. This is our malware detection. Sorry, this is our malware. There are different types of malware. A virus attaches itself to the file and spread. Next one is worm. A worm can spread across the network. Trojan look like a legitimate software, but it perform malicious activity. Ransomware can encrypt our file and demand for the payment. Spyware secretly collect our basic information or user informations. So traditional antivirus system often look for known pattern, but AI can provide here additional intelligence by analyzing different characteristics and behavior. For example, if a program suddenly start accessing many files means making unusual changes or performing suspicious activity, AI can identify this behavior. Okay, so AI-based malware detection can help us to identify suspicious software and activities. So now again I go for a small demonstration for AI-based malware detection. So Here I use a Python code to detect a malware. Here I use decision tree classifier. So this decision tree classifier algorithm makes decision based on different conditions. For example, it can ask, is file large? Does it access network? Does it modify system? Based on this condition, the model decide whether the file looks safe or potential malicious. Here we provide our training data. Here we are using three features. First is file size, second one is network access, and third one is file modification system, whether the file modified or not. The first is a file system which is in a megabyte format. Okay. So next I assign the label. So 0 for safe and 1 for potential malware. So for this example, the first file is 5 MB, no network access, no system modification. So these are the safer behavior. Suppose if the file size is 120 MB with network access and also the system modification means it look like malware behavior. So system identify these behaviors. So we define the label 0 for safe and 1 for potential malware. Next, we create a decision tree classifier model. So this model learn a series of simple condition from training data. Next, we use fit function, which is used to train with two features, X and Y. So now now we have to give a new file with the file size 30, network access present, and also it modify the system. So notify when this, we haven't directly give the answer to the model. So this is not in a trained data. So this is completely new data. So based on the prediction, so this is based on this prediction model. It predicts whether our file safe or potential malware. If 0 means potential malware, if 1 means safe file. So I just run my code. So it provide potential malware, block the file. So this is also the sample model. So we give only the 6 training data here. For real-time projects, we have to give thousands of files to detect our malware. So next one is AI for threat prevention. So far we have discussed threat detection, but detection alone is not enough. Suppose I detect that an attacker is trying to enter my system means the next question is what should I do to stop the attacker? This is where threat prevention becomes important. Threat prevention means reducing the possibility of an attack and stopping the threats before they cause severe damage. So here, AI can help in many ways. It can identify vulnerabilities, it can predict risk, it can block suspicious activity, it can monitor malware, that is, it can monitor user behavior, it can help with malware prevention, it can support access control, and it can also provide security policy recommendations too. So the goal is not only to detect an attack. So here our AI goal should be to detect early and prevent attack whenever possible. So these are all the suspicious behavior. Now let us understand AI continuously observe user and system activity. For example, consider unusual login time. Suppose an employee normally log in between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. means suddenly the account is being used at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. This may be suspicious one. The second one is new device. Suppose a user normally uses one laptop or one mobile means suddenly the same account is accessed from unknown device. This may require investigation too. The third is large data transfer. Normally a user transfer only few megabytes means suddenly several gigabytes of data are to be transferred. So this can be suspicious. Another example is repeated failed login. If someone entered the wrong password more than 3 times or more than 5 times means it may indicate a password attack. Finally, the unusual resource access. This is also a suspicious one. For example, a user suddenly try to access confidential files that they normally never access. So AI can analyze these pattern and generate alert. So this is a simple example of AI-based threat prevention. The first step is incoming email. The email is sent to AI analysis. The AI system check the email. It may analyze the sender, message content, URL, and other characteristics. Then the system calculate phishing risk. So is the risk is high or low? If the answer is yes, the email can move to be the quarantine. If the risk is low means it will be delivered. So this is simple example of how AI can support automated threat prevention. So again now we move on and so on with simple demo. So same program. So I didn't modify anything here. So slightly different from our previous phishing detection. So the final part only the same features here extracted, the message also the same. So in final only, I give threat prevention option. Look at here. If the AI predict 1 means phishing detected, if not only detect, it also generate the warning, either block, quarantine, or give a user warning too. We also take a prevention action. So if phishing is not detected, that means it gives 0 means we can allow for safer message. So not only print the message, we can also trigger the response action too here. So normally the detection tells it looks dangerous, but prevention tells to reduce the risk and also take necessary actions here. Okay. So here also I give a text message. So the message is newly entered. Wait for 2 minutes. So here I give a message from the user. Suppose I entered urgent. Click the link. So I didn't give the same message what we trained to our AI. I give a totally a new message here. Urgent, click the link. So here based on the training model, it provide phishing detector, the action, block, quarantine, or warn user. Based on the security system, the cyber security professional, we can move to any one of the action. So now we move to malware prevention. So AI based malware prevention. We already discussed malware detection. So detection means identifying the malware. Prevention means stopping it from causing damage. For example, suppose a user download a suspicious file means before the file is allowed to run, the security system can analyze it. If the system identifies suspicious behavior, it can it can generate an alert or prevent the file from executing. So these are all the common malwares we already discussed: virus, worm, Trojan, ransomware, spyware. So this is the flow. So the first stage is file downloaded. So it can give to AI analysis. So AI produce the risk factor, that is risk assessment. If the risk is high means it will be blocked. If the risk is medium means it will be it will allow to quarantine. If the risk is low means it will allow. So again I show you a simple demo. So based on the AI. So now we see a simple demo of AI-based malware prevention. Here, instead of running suspicious file, we look at some security-related behaviors and calculate a risk score. Based on the score, the system decides whether the file has low, medium, or high risk. Based on the suggestion, so we will take the appropriate action to it. So initially, the risk score is 0. Based on the suspicious behavior, we increase the score. So here I give the suspicious network plus 25 risk score. For file modification plus 30 points, that is risk score. For unknown source plus 20. For many processes plus 25. Now we have to total the score and calculate the risk level. So if the total score is greater than 70 means we classify it as a high risk. If the score is greater than 40 and less than 69 means we will classify this as a medium, that is suspicious file. If the score is less than 40 means it will be considered as low risk. So we will allow with the monitoring. So we will categorize 3 risk level. If it is high means it provide the malware alert. The action is quarantine or block file. If it is more than 40 and less than 69 means it alerts suspicious file and warn the user and further analysis action. If it is low risk means it allow with the monitoring. So here we display the result with the print function. So file name, risk score, level, alert, and what action it takes. So here I get the test file with unknown file execution. So now I run my code. So too many sessions are allowed. So look at here. So already executed. So finally we test this code using an unknown file. The suspicious network is true. Modification also true. Unknown source is also true. Many processes also true. So the total risk score is 100. So 100 out of 100. So the risk level is high. So the alert given to the user is malware alert, and the action to be taken is quarantine or block file. It will print quarantine or block file. So these are all the simple demos with only few data. Okay. So for in real time cyber security prevention and detection, we can use millions of data to train the AI system. So if how much data we are going to train the AI means based on that only it provide the better result. So next one is AI based vulnerability. So what is exactly is a vulnerability means? Vulnerability means it's simply a weakness. It can be weakness in a system, application, network, or configuration. Let us take some simple example. An outdated software. So an outdated software may contain known security weakness. Weak password may be easy for an attacker or to guess easily. And third one is open unnecessary port. An open unnecessary port may provide additional entry points. Next one is incorrect access permission. Incorrect access permission may allow unauthorized user to access our information. And next one is misconfigured servers. It may expose sensitive information. And final one is vulnerability libraries. It may contain a known risk flaws. So vulnerability does not necessarily mean that an attack has already happened. It means there is a weakness that an attacker may potentially exploit. So identifying the vulnerability is very important in cyber security. So now let us see how AI can help us manage vulnerability. We start with system or application. We scan or assess the system. Then we identify the vulnerability. The next step is AI risk assessment. So AI consider different factors and help us understand the risk. Then we assign a risk score. So based on the score, vulnerability can be categorized as low, medium, high, or critical. Now we come to the very important step, prioritize. So imagine we have 100 vulnerabilities means, can we fix all 100 vulnerabilities immediately? So usually it is not possible. So we need to decide which vulnerability should be fixed first. So critical and high risk vulnerability normally receive greater attention than normal vulnerability. So we can patch, fix, mitigate the vulnerability. So we have to identify this simple sequence, identify, access, score, prioritize, and fix. Now let us understand vulnerability classification. Why do we need a classification? Because all vulnerabilities are not equally dangerous. One vulnerability may have a very low impact. Some vulnerability may allow an attacker to gain complete access to a system. So we need to classify vulnerabilities. The first classification is based on vulnerability type. So this tells us the nature of weakness. The second one is severity level. This tells where vulnerability originated. The next one is, this tells how serious the vulnerability is. Next one is source. This only tells where the vulnerability originated. And next one is affected component. So this is based on which part of the system is affected. And next one is exploitability. This tells us how easy it for an attacker to exploit the weakness. Finally, impact. So impact tells us what could happen if vulnerability is successfully exploited. So by considering these factors, security team can understand the risk more clearly and decide what action should be taken next. Now we are going to discuss vulnerability scoring system and database. In a large organization, system teams may identify 100 or even thousands of vulnerabilities too. So simply identifying vulnerability is not enough. we need a standard method to understand it. So which vulnerability is more serious, which one will be fixed first, which is possible impact. So this is where vulnerability scoring system and database become useful. So they provide a standard information which help us security professional and analyze the prioritize security weakness. The first one is CVSS. So CVSS means Common Vulnerability Scoring System. The main advantage of this scoring system is this is a numerical score system. So this score help our security professionals to understand how serious a vulnerability is. This scoring system starts from 0.0 to 10.0. If low score indicate low severity, that is 10.0 indicates greater severity. Okay. If it is our vulnerability rate is 2.5 means it will be low score. So it indicates it is a low severity vulnerability. Suppose some other vulnerability takes 9.5 score means we have to take immediate action for 9.5 scoring vulnerability, then 2.5 vulnerability. The next scoring system is CVSS V3.1 system. So these are all, this is also based on the severity rating. So if we have 5 stages of rate, a score of 0.0 is called none, 0.1 to 3.9 is called low, 4.0 to 6.9 is called medium, then 7.0 to 8.9 is called high, and 9.0 to 10.0 is critical. So let us take a simple example. Suppose we identify a vulnerability with score of 3. Another one is a score of 8 means, so we will take action for high vulnerability first. So next one is NVD, and that is National Vulnerability Database. It is a US government repository standard for vulnerability management information. It provides information about cybersecurity vulnerabilities. For example, CVSS score, the impact information, and the fixed related information. So these database will useful to find more professional in a vulnerability. So this security professional, this scoring system will help our professional to understand the issue and decide what action should be taken next. And final one is Common Vulnerability and Exposure, that is CVE. This provides standardized identifier. So this identifier is publicly disclosed vulnerability. This identifier is used to find this identifying number is used to find a description and public references. So CV entry contain identification number, description, and public references. Based on this identification, professional talk about a particular CV number, we refer a specific vulnerability. So CV is very useful for consistent vulnerability identification. Next one is vulnerability assessment tool. There are a lot of tools available for vulnerability assessment. These are web application scanning tools. These are the traditional tool. These are AI-based vulnerability scanning tool. In traditional tool, first one is OpenVAS. This is vulnerability scanning tool. Next one is NICTO. NICTO is based on identifying security issues in a web server. So mainly it is used in a web server. And third one is Nmap, which is used for network discovery and security auditing. Next one is NetSparker. NetSparker is commonly associated with the web application security testing. And Aranchi is also a web application security scanner. Burp Suite is a popular tool for testing web application. Zap is nothing but Z Attack Proxy. This is an open source web application testing tool. These tools are very useful because our security professional identify the vulnerability before an attacker can exploit them. And next one is AI-powered vulnerability scanning tools. So now we are moving from traditional to AI, correct? So here are some sample tools which is used for vulnerability scanning. First one is Code Defender. This Code Defender AI is used to identify our security vulnerability, malicious pattern in our source code. So this will be very useful for our developer side. Next one is Corgia. Corgia is a AI-powered application security tool. So, which is used to detect vulnerability in a code and also fix the problem quickly. And third one is FlexCode. So, FlexCode generally monitor and protect our application. That is our infrastructure. So, risk factors. So, these are all. And next one is dry run security tool. So this tool is used to detect our security vulnerability before our code changes. So for the time of deploy, it will check our code. So this will help our security problem in production level. And next one is pen test co-pilot. So this is for penetration testing. It help our security professional to analyze the target, identify vulnerabilities, and organize the texting activities too. And next one is Beagle Security. This is automated web application security, which is used to identify vulnerability and also provide recommendation for fixing. Okay. So next one is CoderBug. CoderBug is a coding assistant which help our developer to write, understand, debug, improve our code. So including these security issues. So finally we come to the conclusions. So let us quickly remember what we discussed today. We start with basics of cyber security, AI with cyber security, and then AI based threat detection, that is phishing detection, malware detection, and move to prevention, that is phishing prevention and malware prevention. After that, we discuss vulnerability detection, risk prediction. Also, we see the lot of standardized format for vulnerability scoring system. So finally, we look at some vulnerability assessment and AI-powered vulnerability secure tool. So the final message I would like to remember is AI is not just a tool for innovation, it is also a powerful shield for cyber security. So here AI can help us process large amount of data, identify suspicious pattern, detect our threat faster. But these are not only done alone with AI only. So AI is not only enough to do these things. We have to combine our AI and also our human intelligence too. So AI only provide the speed and intelligence, but human expert only provide our experience, judgment, and decision making. So when we combine both with the cybersecurity concept, we can detect threat faster, respond smarter, and build a safer digital environment. With this, I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for insightful and informative session on intelligence approaches to threat detection, prevention, and response. We truly appreciate you for sharing your knowledge with us. Once again, we thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful session. Participants, kindly turn on your video for the photo session to make this as memorable. To express our sincere gratitude, I now invite Ms. M. Sasikala, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application, to propose the oath of thanks.
Good afternoon to everyone. It is my privilege to propose the oath of thanks for today's faculty development program on advancing teaching excellence through artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. First and foremost, I express my sincere gratitude to God, my Almighty, for His blessings and guidance throughout today's programming. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our respected founder and chairman, Reverend Father Dr. J. Arulraj, and our management for their constant support and encouragement. I would also like to express my sincere thanks to our respected principal Dr. R. Kovur and administrator Reverend Sister Dr. L. Arusi and all the dignitaries and members of the institution for their valuable support in organizing this FTP. A special and heartfelt thanks to our resource person, Ms. B. Preeti, HOD and Assistant Professor, Department of Science with Artificial Intelligence, Lakshmi Bangaru Arts and Science College at Marvatur, for sharing a valuable knowledge and insight on AI-driven cybersecurity, intelligent approach to threat detection, prevention, and response. I also thank the IKC, ILC, organizing committee, coordinators, technical coordinators, and all the faculty members who worked behind the scenes to make today's session successful. My sincere thanks to all the participants for your active involvement, interest, and valuable participation. Finally, I would like to thank everyone who contributed directly or indirectly to the successful conduct of today's programming. Once again, thank you for all the making this session so informative and meaningful. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. With this, we come to the end of today's session. We sincerely thank our principal, organizing team, faculty members, and our esteemed resource person and all the participants for making this session meaningful and successful. Thank you all for your valuable presence and participations. Have a wonderful afternoon. Participants, the feedback form posted in chat box. Kindly fill it.